We're here with Evgeny Morozov from Transitions Online, and we'd like to ask him about this project, what it is. He's director of new media in this.
Exactly. Well, Transitions Online is a media development NGO based in Prague, and we do a whole bunch of issues and activities. We publish a magazine online. We do trainings for professional journalists and aspiring journalists, and increasingly we do lots of projects in new media. And those include both web development applications, so we actually create, platforms for blogs, let's say in Belarus, let's say in Malaysia, and we also do trainings in new media, so we get together bloggers, new media specialists, journalists, publishers, editors, it's a series of trainings and
How
seminars.
is the response of bloggers in the Central and Eastern European countries?
Well, so far positive, but again, it's very, what I have found is that the levels of skills is very different. It's very hard to have a training where you would get bloggers and editors in the same room, because paradoxically, the bloggers would be the ones who know much more about the media than the editors, right? So for us, the challenge has been how to narrow down our trainings to separate those two separate groups. But again, you just have to look at different issues, because publishers and editors think about money and business plans, how they can use new media to create, more revenue. Various bloggers look at it from a different perspective, how you can create a better brand for yourself, or how you can write more insightful stories, or how you can create community around your website. So the interests are a bit different. So that's why, sometimes bloggers are pissed off that we spend too much time on, citizen media, or how to integrate user-generated content.
And do people find it a more democratic form of expression, or not, the internet?
Well, I think they're sort of voting with their feet, or or keyboards, if you can say it that way. The reason why we see such a good development of the blogosphere in particularly oppressive societies like China, Iran, again Belarus comes to mind, Central Asia, is because those people don't necessarily have other venues to get engaged in conversations, right? So the web provides an anonymity element, and the web also provides, uncensored platform on which they can actually start engaging in dialogue, which is lacking in real life. And we see, what I've noticed is that if you look at countries where, freedoms are not perfect, you'll actually see much better developments in the blogosphere, in the sphere of citizen media, versus countries where everything is good and going smoothly. It's a paradox, but, the countries with less democracy tend to have much better developed and much healthier and much more diverse blogospheres. If you exclude the US from the picture, especially, it's obvious.
And you think that it also incorporates innovation in a way? This,
Well, it does, but again, this is the innovation which comes from the bottom. It's not the innovation which the European Union has in mind with, the Lisbon agenda. It's not something which you devise at the top and then find ways how to disseminate it. It's a completely opposite process. It's when the innovation happens at the bottom, and you have to find ways in which you can aggregate all those little voices, aggregate them into a bigger picture, and then somehow feed it to the company level. So innovation does happen, but it's not planned, so to say, right? So the challenge is, how can you aggregate and sort of build concrete products from the spontaneous innovations?
and what do you think is one of the best innovative ideas of the last period?
Well, I don't know how fresh that is, but it's definitely crowdsourcing. It's definitely applying the logic of, let's say, open source software movement to broader ideas, to broader processes. How you can crowdsource news, how you can crowdsource various business processes, how you can crowdsource, fact checking, how you can crowdsource encyclopedia business. So a lot of the processes we are saying now, the most innovative ones are actually managing to integrate community and users as the innovators, and that would be crowdsourcing innovation, which we're all waiting for, because a lot of it is happening on a user level, and how the company can devise a policy in which it can actually sort of identify those little mini innovations that each of us are doing to products, and how they can later package them and then release it to the general public, that's a challenge. But definitely crowdsourcing, I think, is one of the trends which has defined at least, most creative processes to me in the last 5-10 years.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much.